upcoming Outlaw Music Festival tour kicks off in June in Wisconsin. He turns 90 years old next month.
I think, it calms me down. And I used to drink a lot. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. Now I don't.
Country music legend Willie Nelson has finally spoken up, and what he just revealed has left fans in shock. For years, rumors have circulated about his past relationships and career without any confirmation. However, now, at 91, Willie Nelson is out with the truth. What rumors did he confirm? Join us as we explore Willie's revelation that will change everything you thought you knew about him. The secret that rocked his marriage and the truth he finally admitted. For decades, rumors swirled about Willie Nelson's complicated love life. But now, at 91, the country legend finally laid it all out in his Paramount Plus docuseries, Willie Nelson and Family. In the special, he didn't hold back, revealing the truth about a secret affair that shockingly ended his second marriage. Back in the late 1960s, Willie was married to his second wife, Shirley Colley. But behind closed doors, he had been carrying on a years-long relationship with another woman, Connie Koepke. Shirley had no idea until one day, a single piece of mail changed everything. A hospital bill arrived at their home, revealing the birth of a baby girl named Paula Nelson. The mother, Connie Koepke. It was a discovery that shattered Shirley's world. Shirley wanted to know who in the hell was Connie Nelson. Willie recalled in the documentary. He had no choice but to confess. Connie had been in his life for years, long before their child was born. That moment marked the beginning of the end. The betrayal was too much to repair, and by 1971, Shirley and Willie's marriage was over. He wasted no time, though. He married Connie that same year. Their relationship lasted until 1988, but even that chapter eventually closed. Reflecting on his past, Willie didn't try to sugarcoat his actions. He admitted that love, at least the way he had lived it, was often messy and flawed. I regret the pain I caused Connie and Martha and Shirley before her, he admitted. I have no excuses. But through it all, there was one love that changed everything for him, his current wife, Annie D'Angelo. She wasn't just different, she was the one. When it came to romance, I had a gift for complicating things, he confessed. But marrying Annie wasn't complicated at all. It's about the smartest thing I ever did. Now, as he reflects on his past with complete honesty, Willie Nelson is finally confirming the truth that fans have speculated about for years. The rumors were real, and he's not hiding from them anymore. Aside from confirming the rumors surrounding his complicated love life, Willie Nelson also shared the struggles he faced at the lowest point of his life. What exactly did he reveal? Let's find out. A dark night in Nashville. The struggle that nearly ended it all. Before he became a country music icon, Willie Nelson was just another struggling songwriter in Nashville, chasing a dream that felt further away with each passing day. His talent was undeniable, but success seemed out of reach. With no money, no stability, and a growing sense of failure, he found himself at his lowest point, one that nearly cost him his life. In his book, Me and Paul, Untold Stories of a Fabled Friendship, Willie reflected on a night that could have changed everything forever. Overwhelmed by despair, he lay down in the middle of Broadway Street, Nashville's busiest road, ready to let fate decide his next move. The cold, snowy night felt like the perfect moment to surrender. I lay, prepared to stay, eyes closed, ready to move on and move out, he wrote. If life wasn't working, maybe the next one would. But something strange happened. Cars swerved, avoiding him. Whether it was luck, timing, or something bigger, Willie survived the night. Instead of an ending, he got up, walked back to Tootsie's bar, and ordered another drink. The next day, his longtime friend, Paul English, showed up. Paul had been quietly keeping an eye on Willie, sensing his struggles. He took him for a hot meal, gave him a pep talk and reminded him that he had something special. More than talent, he had a future. Willie later admitted that his depression stemmed from watching other musicians thrive while he barely made enough to survive. He was forced to take odd jobs, even selling encyclopedias just to make ends meet. His then-wife, Martha, was carrying most of the financial burden, and the shame of not being able to provide weighed heavily on him. But Paul never lost faith in him. He saw what Willie couldn't see in himself. That unwavering belief turned into a lifelong friendship, lasting 65 years until Paul's passing. Willie later honored their bond in his book, recognizing the man who helped pull him from his darkest moment. Looking back, Willie now sees that night on Broadway as a turning point. It wasn't the end, it was a test. And thanks to the right friend at the right time, he got up and kept going, from facing one challenge to another. Willie Nelson found himself yet in another tragedy. Keep watching to find out what happened. A father's deepest heartbreak, the loss that changed everything. Willie Nelson has lived through many hardships, but nothing compared to the pain of losing his son, Billy. On Christmas Day in 1991, tragedy struck. Billy was found dead in his Nashville home. He had taken his own life at just 33 years old, leaving behind a father who would never be the same again. Timing made the loss even more unbearable. Willie was already struggling financially and dealing with personal turmoil. Billy had been more than just his son. He was a musician, a partner, and someone Willie had shared his passion for music with. They had performed together, creating unforgettable moments on stage, including a heartfelt gospel duet in Dayton, Ohio. In 1991, the father and son had worked on a special project, Peace in the Valley, a gospel album that meant the world to Willie. But Billy's struggles ran deep. He battled alcoholism, a fight he ultimately couldn't win. The signs were there just a year before his death. Billy had been arrested 4 times for driving under the influence. Despite efforts to get better, he remained caught in the grip of addiction. When Billy passed, Willie was shattered. He called it the most heartbreaking moment of his life, one he never truly recovered from. For a while, he couldn't even bring himself to continue working on Peace in the Valley. What was once a project filled with pride now only reminded him of the son he had lost. But in time, Willie found a way to honor Billy's memory. In 1994, he finally released the album, renaming it The Gospel Truth, as a tribute to his son. It was a way to keep Billy's voice alive, even though he was gone. The loss of Billy left a permanent mark on Willie, forcing him to see life through a different lens. He often spoke about his belief in reincarnation, saying it gave him comfort in the darkest times. It showed that even a man as strong and free-spirited as Willie Nelson could be broken by grief. Yet life still had unexpected surprises for him. In 2012, an old friend, Mary Haney, re-entered his life with shocking news. Willie had a daughter he never knew about. Her name was Renee. And not only was she his child, but she also had a daughter named Noel, who had a child of her own. Instead of being overwhelmed, Willie embraced them with open arms, seeing it as an unexpected blessing. After so much loss, this newfound family gave him something precious, a chance to reconnect and love again. Through heartbreak, addiction, and unexpected joy, Willie Nelson's life has been a story of resilience. He has faced unimaginable pain, but through it all, he has never lost his compassion, his music, or his ability to keep moving forward. Through all the pain, Willie Nelson kept going strong until trouble came knocking. Could the controversy break him this time around? Let's find out. Willie Nelson's wild ride, arrests, taxes, and the legend's unbreakable spirit. Willie Nelson has never been one to shy away from controversy, especially when it comes to his love for marijuana. His run-ins with the law over cannabis possession have been a recurring theme throughout his life. It all started in 1974 when he was first arrested for marijuana possession in Dallas, Texas. Just a few years later, in 1977, he had another brush with the law while traveling to the Bahamas with fellow musician Hank Cochran. Their late arrival at the airport meant their luggage arrived separately, and when Nelson went to claim his bag, customs officials found marijuana in his jeans. He was arrested on the spot and thrown in jail. Cochran, ever the good friend, bailed him out, but not before bringing him a six-pack of beer to make his stay in the cell a little easier. When Nelson was finally released, he was so overjoyed that he jumped in celebration, only to fall and injure himself, landing in the emergency room. A judge eventually dropped the charges but banned him from returning to the Bahamas. His most famous legal troubles, however, didn't stop there. In 1994, Texas Highway Patrol officers found marijuana in his car near Waco, preventing him from attending that year's Grammy Awards. Then, in 2006, while traveling to the funeral of Texas Governor Ann Richards, Nelson, his manager, and his sister Bobby were arrested in Louisiana for possession of marijuana and psychedelic mushrooms. He ended up with 6 months of probation. Even in his later years, Nelson's marijuana-related arrests continued. In 2010, he was caught with 6 ounces of cannabis on his tour bus while traveling through Sierra Blanca, Texas. He was released after posting a $2,500 bail. At first, prosecutors considered letting him off easy, even joking that he should sing Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain as his penalty. But the judge rejected any special treatment, and Nelson eventually settled the case with a fine and probation. But while marijuana arrests were a regular nuisance, nothing compared to his battle with the IRS. In 1990, the agency seized nearly all of Nelson's assets, claiming he owed a staggering $32 million in unpaid taxes. The financial disaster stemmed from poor investment advice in the early 1980s. His former manager, Neil Reshin, had left him with mounting tax debts, and Nelson's accountants at Price Waterhouse recommended tax shelters that ultimately failed. The IRS disallowed deductions from several years, causing his debt to skyrocket. With penalties and interest piling up, Nelson was in deep trouble. His legal team managed to negotiate the amount down to $16 million and later to $6 million, but he struggled to meet the payments. To dig himself out, Nelson did what he did best. He turned to music. He released the IRS tapes, Who'll Buy My Memories? A double album where every dollar earned went directly to paying off his debt. Meanwhile, his friends and fans stepped in to help. Many of Nelson's possessions were auctioned off by the IRS, but loyal supporters bought them back, only to return or lease them to him for a token amount. Eventually, Nelson even sued Price Waterhouse for mismanaging his finances, settling for an undisclosed sum. By 1993, he had finally cleared his debts and reclaimed his independence. Through legal troubles, financial nightmares, and countless challenges, Willie Nelson never lost his rebellious spirit. Whether facing prison time or bankruptcy, he remained true to himself, fighting for what he believed in and using music to rise above the setbacks. His resilience proved that no matter how many times life knocked him down, he was always ready to get back up. Even through his struggles and controversies, he stood tall. But how will history remember him? Stay tuned to find out. A living legend. Honors, recognition, and lasting legacy. Willie Nelson isn't just a country music star, he's an American icon. His influence stretches far beyond music, shaping culture, activism, and the very spirit of independence that defines his career. Over the years, he has received countless accolades, cementing his place as one of the greatest musicians of all time. His journey to legendary status was officially recognized in 1993 when he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. 5 years later, in 1998, he received one of the highest cultural honors in the country, the Kennedy Center Honors, celebrating his impact on American music and culture. But Nelson's contributions extended beyond entertainment. In 2011, he was inducted into the National Agricultural Hall of Fame in recognition of his tireless advocacy for farmers through farm aid and other charitable initiatives. His songwriting brilliance also earned him significant accolades. In 2015, Nelson received the Gershwin Prize, the Library of Congress's Lifetime Achievement Award for Songwriting, putting him in the ranks of legends like Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder. By 2018, his storytelling through song was further honored when the Texas Institute of Letters inducted him among its members. Rolling Stone magazine also acknowledged his immense talent, placing him on their list of the 100 greatest singers and 100 greatest guitarists of all time. Nelson's deep ties to Texas made him a natural choice for state honors, but not without controversy. In 2003, then Texas Governor Rick Perry signed a bill that funded the Texas Music Project, the state's official music charity, and named Nelson honorary chairman of its advisory board. In 2005, Texas lawmakers proposed renaming a 49-mile stretch of State Highway 130 after him. Despite overwhelming support, the bill was ultimately dropped due to objections from a few Republican senators, citing his political affiliations, drinking, and marijuana advocacy. Beyond awards and tributes, Nelson's legacy has been preserved through extensive collections of his work. Texas State University houses a significant archive of his materials, covering his career from 1975 to 1994. These archives include song lyrics, concert programs, letters, tour schedules, and even documents related to his infamous IRS troubles. His longtime friend, Bill Whitliff, contributed many of these items, providing a behind-the-scenes look at Nelson's life and work. In 2014, Nelson himself took steps to ensure his legacy endured by donating his personal collection to the Dolph Briscoe Center for American History. The vast archive includes photographs, manuscripts, awards, posters, and gifts from fans, offering an intimate look at the life of one of America's most beloved musicians. From humble beginnings in Abbott, Texas, to global stardom, Willie Nelson has done more than just entertain. He has shaped history. His music, activism, and defiance against the odds have made him a cultural icon whose influence will last for generations. Willie Nelson's legendary status goes beyond music. His humanitarian work, peace advocacy, and cultural impact have been recognized time and again. In April 2010, he was honored with the Feed the Peace Award from the Nobility Project, acknowledging his dedication to farm aid and his commitment to world peace. That same year, he was inducted into the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry, an honor reserved for recordings that are considered culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Nelson is also an honorary trustee of the Dayton International Peace Museum, further solidifying his reputation as an advocate for peace and justice. Willie Nelson's legacy is more than a career, it's a movement. His awards, tributes, and honors are simply reminders of what the world already knows. Willie Nelson is an icon whose influence will last forever. His legacy is cemented in history, but his journey isn't over. What's next for the music legend? Keep watching to find out. The outlaw spirit lives on. Nelson's 10th annual Outlaw Music Festival tour. At 91 years old, Willie Nelson is still going strong, and his legacy of bringing artists together continues with the 10th annual Outlaw Music Festival tour. This milestone tour, set to be one of the most star-studded and diverse yet, will feature a lineup of country, alt-country, Americana, bluegrass, folk, and rock artists, celebrating the outlaw spirit that has defined Nelson's career. Kicking off on May 13th in Arizona, the festival will travel across 22 states, making 35 stops before wrapping up on September 19th in Wisconsin. Fans can expect performances from Willie Nelson and family, as well as legendary artists like Bob Dylan, Billy Strings, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, Sheryl Crow, the Avett Brothers, Wilco, and Turnpike Troubadours. The lineup also includes rising stars such as the Red Clay Strays, Lake Street Dive, Waxahachie, Charles Wesley Godwin, Lucinda Williams, Bruce Hornsby and the Noisemakers, Trampled by Turtles, the Mavericks, Sierra Hull, Willow Avalon, Waylon Payne, Madeline Edwards, Lily Miola, Myron Elkins, and Tammy Nielsen. The tour will stop at some of the most iconic venues in the country, including Los Angeles Hollywood Bowl, the Gorge Amphitheater in Washington State, First Bank Amphitheater in Tennessee, and Dallas's Dos Equis Pavilion. Nelson himself expressed his excitement about this year's tour, saying, "What an amazing lineup to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Outlaw Music Festival Tour. I can't wait to join friends and family in bringing this celebration to the fans we love." Over the past decade, the Outlaw Music Festival Tour has hosted an impressive roster of artists, including Bonnie Raitt, Brandi Carlile, Chris Stapleton, Eric Church, John Fogerty, John Mellencamp, Luke Combs, Neil Young, Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, Zach Bryan, and Tyler Childers. This year's tour promises to continue the tradition of legendary performances, musical camaraderie, and a celebration of the outlaw country movement that Nelson helped pioneer. Tickets for the festival went on sale February 7th at 10 a.m. local time through Ticketmaster and the festival's official website. With an unparalleled lineup and decades of music history behind it, the 10th annual Outlaw Music Festival Tour is shaping up to be an unforgettable experience for country and Americana fans. As Willie Nelson continues to defy time, his passion for music, storytelling, and bringing artists together remains stronger than ever. His journey as a performer isn't slowing down, proving once again that true legends never fade. They just keep playing. What are your thoughts about Willie's complicated love life and controversial journey? Let us know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.